So this week we're filming an amazing piece labeled Chain Reaction, an interaction with several elements.
High-speed parachutes, flying with wingsuiters.
Driving cars, base jumping, skydiving.
Amazing action. This is going to be an incredible piece.
What's not fun about flying through the rocks and chasing a car and chasing the skydivers?
Here we are, Moab, Utah, Chain Reaction.
I'm just going to apologize to this car right now.
So the Red Bull Air Force is this elite group of aerial athletes. They do all the stunts and all of the big action films. They're some of the most accomplished athletes in their space. This project started when we went to them and said, you know, with you guys having done literally everything that you can do in the air, what's the next step? What do you guys want to do?
Well, the Chain Reaction project really started by just a group of us on the Red Bull Air Force getting together and starting to kind of brainstorm how could we showcase everything we do within our team in air sports.
They came back to us like, we have this idea called Chain Reaction. And what we want to do is every one of our aerial disciplines in one sequence.
I'm doing my part for Chain Reaction.
We really needed to find a location that allowed us to be able to do this whole series of events all at the same time. After a lot of research, we came to the conclusion that Moab was going to be the perfect location to accomplish our goals.
We were shooting at the Fisher Tower area right outside of Moab. It's like shooting on a different planet. You have all this red rock everywhere, and then you have the towers, which are 1,000-foot drop. You could really turn the camera anywhere and have amazing scenery.
We realized when we showed up that it's high desert and it is freezing out here. There was already snow on the ground.
It was, in the 20s on the ground, but then the guys who were up in the air at 15,000 feet, it was -10, -20.
We're trying to put together a lot of pieces at the exact same time, which nobody's ever done before. On the first attempt at this, it didn't run perfectly smooth.
The guys jump and we're shooting and we're like, oh, it's great, it's great, it's great. And we see the circle for Kirby starting and we see the guys over here not in formation. Nothing was working.
What are you doing?
Kirby had a technical malfunction with his aircraft with the gas tank cracking.
For the next hour, we were kind of wondering what was going to happen. Like, were we done right then?
Essentially at that point, the first day was totally bunk.
Once we realized that Kirby's airplane had a problem and was grounded, we realized we were going to be able to get that fixed. But what it was going to do is put us in a position where we had one shot the next day to get our take that we were after, the glory shot.
So when it comes to a project like this, you have to sit down and we had to figure out how are we actually going to document this.
We went out a few weeks before the shoot and scouted out exactly where the sun was going to be, mapped out which angles would be best at what time of day.
Sunrise and sunset played a key component in the vision and storyboards of this project, and getting shots during those times was incredibly important too.
To get the ideal light and be safe for the athletes where they didn't have the sun in their eyes and they were able to see their landing zone was only a very short 15-minute window in which we had to get our shots.
Coordinating some of the shots on this shoot was really difficult. There was one shot in particular where we were shooting the car with Reese and Sean in it, communicating to the helicopter as the helicopter comes in next to it. So the helicopter has to come in and be visible through the passenger window. Just the sheer coordination of those two things was a major hurdle to overcome.
Okay, what's protocol if Reese is coming?
So basically my eyes are in the camera like this, and if there's a questionable moment, that's my move.
It came down to, how are we actually going to shoot it?
The reason we decided to use the red was because it gives super high resolution and we needed the dynamic range with the areas we were working in.
Woo! We used Cook anamorphic lenses and we used them for the width that it offered, but it also gives a certain look similar to how you would see like in a Hollywood blockbuster. For the helicopter, we wanted to shoot this anamorphic 12:1, which is a gorgeous lens. The problem is it weighs almost 30 pounds.
And so we needed a heavy-duty camera system for the heli to be able to handle that. So we used the Shot Over K1, which is their biggest, baddest camera system.
Get a beautiful shot where there's absolutely no shake in the lens.
Ground control to your team. At the moment, we are right on schedule.
We used the Movi a lot on this shoot. Mounted the Movi on the car. We mounted the Movi inside the car. We used an Alta as a drone where we were doing convergent shots onto the car. And then we also mounted the Movi onto a Razor, a 4x4, and tracked with the car.
The other way you document this is with POV cameras. So we use the Garmin Verb.
It allowed us to capture POV shots as well as the metrics of the athlete.
It really allowed us to see what the athletes were doing, so we can then show the audience just how precise these guys are.
Here we go. All right, success.
I think we pretty much knocked that one out of the park. We stuck it, everything came together.
We're really excited that we were able to document these guys in a really unique light, that everyone was safe, and that we have a great outcome. We really think you're going to enjoy the piece.
That's a wrap. See ya.